Hello, it's Gwen. Thank you for joining me today. Excuse me. I have a new journal, junk journal, that I have just completed, and I'm going to add this to my uh, on the consignment website, capturedonpaper.com. It's a consignment shop. It's not Etsy. It's a little like Etsy, but it's much better than Etsy, quite frankly. I have several journals on there and have sold several. So if you want, and there's a heading across the top. It says minis and books type things because there's all different types of things in the crafting world that they're selling. So I just finished this one, and I may have gone through this one. I'm not sure for just the outside and not the inside, and I may not. I can't remember. I've made so many. Anyway, this is let's see. I just measured it. I can't remember. It's a 9 1/4 by 6. The spine is 2 1/2 wide, and this is fabric, covered with fabric. It is a ticking type fabric. I bought it at Hobby Lobby. I enclosed it with, of course, coffee dyed, stain dyed seam binding. And then on the spine, I have some lace, some cotton crochet type lace to cover it up. And then, of course, I have the, the little dangles here. Uh, there's scissors, some pearls, a wing, uh, some crystals, just a plain little Tim Holtz deal, and a cameo. I love the cameos. So it's just hooked on here with a Tim Holtz clasp, which can be removed if you don't like it. Um, Here I've got a book plate, and I just cut off some paper and stuck it in there, and it is glued in there. Uh, there are 3 signatures. Oh dear Lord, I just counted. There are almost 200 pages, I think. I just counted them. There were 50, and 2 sides is 100 plus another side. Is that 200? Oh dear. I'll post that when I post it on consumers. Um, so let's go inside. As I say, this is ticking. This is fabric. It's all wrapped like you would wrap paper. It's all glued down. It isn't going anyplace. And I wrapped the closure with the ribbon. Here's just a little metal uh, decorative piece that I punched a hole in the center, and I put a grommet in there to make it look pretty, quite frankly. So there's just a grommet on the back. This is see, it is a chunky monkey. I love it. I really, really do. I think I pre-showed this with the cut. Well, no, I pre-showed one with the covering, and I didn't have it finished because I was going to show it when it's completed. This isn't it. So the inside cover, now I have covered the outside with the ticking. This is fabric, but the inside I've covered with decorative paper, and it goes all the way across. It's the same all the way across. And as I say, it's hand sewn. I'm trying to see how many. Uh, I think it's a 5. Let's see. Yes, it's a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. Now the stitching is on the outside, but it is covered up with the cotton lace. The inside cover, excuse me, I made I made a pocket. This is Prima paper, and I apologize. I do not remember the name of the collection, and I use it a lot. I should, excuse me. So I made a pocket, and in the pocket I put, this is just a little booklet that I made with some paper, tea dyed paper, coffee dyed paper. All the papers is coffee dyed, and this just folds out. It's a little book, and then I stitched it down the center on the sewing machine. So it's just a little book. This is just a little uh, infirmary, infirmary uh, tag, and this, and it all come from Tim Holtz. And you could certainly uh, journal on the back. It fits in here like so in the little book, and the little book is for journaling as well. Here's a little bitty dog down in the corner, and that's from Tim Holtz's collection, his new collections. This is a square doily, and this is calligraphy paper. I buy this at Hobby Lobby at the art supply area where they have pens and pencils and inks and art type thing. This is just this is baked paper. Excuse me. The white paper in this book has been dipped in water and has been baked to give it the crinkly whatever. And I have tea dyed or coffee dyed paper in here as well. But this is just plain white 28-pound copy paper that has been dipped in water and then baked. This is a stencil that I stenciled. This is a half page, and on the end of the half page, I used a Martha Stewart. This is, I bought this from, oh, what's her name? I got her tag up here. Tattered Dreams, from Tattered Dreams, and it's an envelope. No, this is Sagrita. I bought this from Sagrita's Coffee. And she made it's a book plate on coffee dyed paper with some what's that behind it, and a flower that she made with a button and two. It's like gauze, and it is open in the back. There's nothing in this one, and it's open in the front. So you could put a tag here, and you could put a tag here. And on the coffee dyed papers, I used my cornering tool. I've got a little cornering tool. This was by Stampin' Up. And I cornered the coffee dyed papers. This is a business size envelope, size 10, that I folded in half and I stitched around the outer perimeter. And I did not close up the tag. And then this is just a Tim Holtz tag that come out of his new collection, and this as well. And so that just, those fit in there. This is coffee dyed paper, and this is lace that I got at Hobby Lobby. And it's sewed on here for a tuck spot. I don't have anything in it, or you could just leave it plain and put pretty journaling down the side or pictures, but it is open where you could use it as a tuck spot. There again, this is another white copy paper that has been dipped. This is baking paper, parchment paper, that I used to line my cookie sheet with while baking the papers, and it ends up like this. I just love it, and I've just cut around it, and because I use great big sheets, so I just cut around it and made a kind of a half page and put in there just for texture. This is a Rita Donnelly corner pocket, not corner pocket, corner flip, where you can journal on the inside. I did make it, but it is her design. And here in the pot, and then I did some stenciling here, and then there again is some more of Tim Holtz's new ephemera. I can't say it today. That fits in the pocket. I love it. And this is just a tag that I made. I did staple some seam binding on the top and stamped it with a little bird, and I almost covered up my little bird, but he's a cutie patootie. Turn this. Now at the top, at the top here, I just used some lace as like a little tag and stapled it on. This is just a little remnant of a piece of lace. This is another white page that's been, I'm going to move us out just a wee bit. Well, maybe a little wee bit more. There we go. This is another white page that's been water dipped and baked. Another laced side little pocket type thing on the coffee dyed paper. We have another envelope. Now this is also Sagrita's, and I bought them from her, and I stitched all around this. This has got a pocket on the inside where you could put this like so. And then this is just a little tag. I made the tags because I've got the Tim Holtz steel die. Made the tag, stamped it, and some sorry silk on top. Now this can go in here like so, and then it kind of sticks down, which is cute. So you got this, and then you got something in there. Turn the page. Now this is just an old book page. It's French. I use this periodically, and I just covered up the whole page, and I sprayed it with different sprays. I think these are Lindy Stamp Gangs, and just kind of made a page. You could put pictures on it or whatever. This is another half page. Now this is the center of our first signature, and here are the tails. I haven't done anything with the tails. I'm going to go back and put on like the hearts on a string, or put two little things on here. But if you didn't like that, you could cut that off, and you could seal these up on the side, make a pocket, and that would hide uh, your thread and your sewing. But I do them both ways, quite frankly. So this is a half page that's put together. This is another, the back part of the white paper that has been dipped, and this got some from the parchment paper, some brown, which is fine. This is coffee dyed paper. This is just the white as well. Now this is a crocheted type cotton lace, which I think the cotton lace lends itself to the vintage type books. This, oh, let me pull it out this way. Oh, this has two tags. This is just a plain tag to journal on that slips down in. Now this is a, I've stamped on this, and it is a fabric tag. Now I bought these. I bought these at Michael's, but it is and then I just zigzagged on some sorry silk, and then I just pinned a button on with one of Tim Holtz's little decorative pins, and then used the sorry silk in the top. So this fits down in here as well. It's just decorative. I think I like it. I really like it. Turn the page, and then we've got the other part of the parchment or the baking paper. Here's the other part of the white baked paper. This is of course the coffee dyed paper, and this is number 1. This is a piece of kind of a cloth type wide ribbon I got at Michael's, and then I stamped it with number 1, and you could journal down here. Here again, this is a stencil, and this is another, or the other end of an envelope with some more Tim Holtz ephemera in there as well. And there again, it's the envelope I sewed all the way around, did not attach that. This is a piece of fabric that I stamped Tiffany and Company. It's my new stamp. I absolutely love it. I stamped it, and then I just glued it down. It is not a pocket. This is the other half of the half page, and oh, I tore that. This is the white water dyed paper. This is the back side of the first signature with the calligraphy paper, and the back side of the square doily, another square doily. This is, now all of these virtually are the same. I make them all the same. When I lay out my pages or my signatures, I'll start da 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 to da 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 da, however many signatures. So they're virtually laid out the same. So we'll kind of flip through this. There again, it's the same. Here's another half page. Here's another envelope. Here's another, the lace little pocket. This is stenciled. This is the baking paper. This is a pull up, pull down. You can journal in here, and then I made it a pocket where you have this plain black tag. I bought this from Tattered Dreams, and I just kind of stamped on the back of it to make some interest, and it fits down in the pocket. Now I made this, and this has a half doily. No, it has a full doily, but you can't see the. And I made the flower. I stamped the coffee dyed paper with my French background stamp, and then I punched it out. I think it's a Stampin' Up punch, and then I got three different. With the center is a little brown button in the center with a little black twine. I love this book. Here's another tuck spot with the ecru lace. Here's another envelope. It's open in the back. It's open in the front. This is another uh, page from the French book. I did do a little stenciling here, and then there again. This is the half. This is the half of the second signature with the ties. There again, you can close that up. I'm going to put some ends on the end of the strings. Now this is another. Oh my, this is another cloth tag, and I zigzagged just across the bottom, and I stamped it, and then I just tied one of the Timmy's pins on there with the brown seam binding. This is a Tim Holtz mini paper clip, and I've clipped it down. It's kind of hard to get on there. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, come on now. There we go. It's not hard. It's just a little, because they're so teensy. So I just kind of put it down with a paper clip. This is another Rita Donnelly corner pocket, corner flip with some more Tim Holtz embellishments. This is another, and here's just another remnant of the lace, the cotton lace. When I cut this off, and I just stapled it on the top. Like so. Now this is the cotton lace as a belly band, and this is, I bought this, I think at Hobby Lobby, but I forget where. I really do forget where. Either Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I can't remember, but I think Hobby Lobby. And I did, it's just a bag, a cloth bag, and then I did stamp on the top where you could put memorabilia in, and then it just slips down in here nicely in that cotton. And as I say, I think the cotton lace lends itself to the book. Another baking paper. Here's another, and this kind of got on the baking paper, but that's okay. Another stencil that I stenciled. You could write on here. I left a lot of blank areas. Another envelope, and on this envelope is a tag, and I just stamped a teapot on the tag. I slipped it down in like so, and then another one that sometimes these kind of fall out, so I just kind of secure them with one of those little paper clips. Here's a blank journaling page with the corner punched. It's another half page, another white page. I'm wrestling this, aren't I? And here's the back with the calligraphy paper and the square doily. Here's the starting of the last signature, which there again is virtually the same. I did stamp that with a new stamp. I have another envelope, sewed around the envelope, did some what I do here. Of course, some more lace, tuck spot, white paper. This is another up down where you could journal, and then I've got a tag that's Tim Holtz's little new, and then this is a tag that I made and put a butterfly on it, and oops, stamped it. Cute. It's just a tall, skinny. Almost got out of there. Come on, let's go. Oh, well, I'll get it later. It'll come out. Oh, there we go. It's just a tall, skinny tag. It's 2 inches because the punch that I use is only a 2-inch punch, and then this goes down in the, this comes out, this goes down. There we go. I am just wrestling this. It's hard. I don't know if this would help or not. Oh, maybe. Okay, this is just journaling. This is another white water dye. This is another tuck spot with the lace. Another envelope, and there is a little bag in here. It's just folded in half that you could put something in and slide down in this envelope for security or secrets. How about that? That'd be fun. And then it's open in the back as well. Another page from my French book with a safety pin and a little Tim Holtz paper clip. Another, here's the center of our last signature, the same thing. And then we have where I've stenciled. Oh, and here's another flip corner, Rita Donnelly corner, flip. And then here is just a tag I made, just a black tag, and it's the 2-inch tag as well. This is from A Tattered Dream, and this is from Tim Holtz. This is the white water dyed paper. Here is another belly band with the cotton lace, and I've with a safety pin. We've got 2 things here. With a safety pin, I pinned on this little heart metal right here. It's a brown safety. It's not rusted, but it's a brown antique with a little round heart. And then I have this is just a bag. This is another bag that you could put something in. This is another tag that I made with a teapot on it, and then I just tied on a knotted seam binding. And then I have just attached this with a black big paper clip. And this slides down in our belly band, like so. I love the cloth belly bands. And then you turn the page, and then here's a, wait a minute. Oh, here's the back side of the envelope with some, back side of the envelope. Here's a half page. Here's the end of the signature. Now this is another pocket that I made, put on the back, and in the pocket, these fingernails, I can't get anything out. Okay, I made another book, Art Washes Away from the Soul, the Dust of Everyday Life. And it opens up, and it's the same thing. It's a little fold-out book where you can journal, like so. I machine sewed it down the middle and then stamped it, and there's some washi tape on it. This is from Tim Holtz packet. This is from A Tattered Dream that fits in the pocket. I love pockets. And this came from the paper collection, and there again, I apologize. It's a Prima. And the back is just plain, and now I will add my little insignia. I haven't done that yet. The back is plain, and here we are. I think it's lovely. It's big. It's very big. It's got seemed like there's 200 pages in it. I'm not sure. I counted them. They were 50, and 2 sides is 100 or 150. Ooh, there's a lot. I'll count them again. And of course, here's your little metal closure. I punched the hole in this metal with my punch, and then I attached it to the book with the grommet or the eyelet, and so it makes a pretty closure. So this wraps around like so, and this comes around the back like so. I really like it. I hope you like it. I hope this was informative. And as I say, it's going to be on my consignment shop capturedonpaper.com. I'm going to have this up later today. Uh, and there it is. I think it came out real well. It's a nice, big, chunky monkey, but it's got a ton of room, a lot of real estate for writing and pictures and whatever. And then let's see, it's just, and I love the fabric. I love these fabric books. I've been making a lot of them. I have something else to show, and I'm not finished with it, but I'm going to show it real quick. This is an altered book. This is a book I bought at, it's got Dance of Dreams by Patricia Matthews. Excuse me. This is an old book. It's not a 100-year-old book, but it is an old book, probably 40s, 50s. And I bought it for $1 at a thrift shop. This is Prima paper as well. Now, I've never dealt a lot with the beach and mermaids and all that, but anyway, this is the paper, and I kind of liked it. So this is the outside, and it says beach, and I covered this front, and then I covered the back as well. I'm going to leave the spine as is. Now, this is a book where I ripped out the pages and then glued two together. And this is from Crafty Eileen. Eileen, thank you. Her process of doing it. This is the first one I've done. I've gutted books and then made my own signatures and sewed them in. But this book is the pages. I took 3 pages, tore out 8 or 6. I tore out because she uses 350 to 400 page books. This was not even a 300. I forget what it was, but it wasn't. Let's see, what was it? I might have it here. It was 265 or something like that. So I pulled down a couple, 3 pages, and then I tore out 6, and then another couple pages, tore out 6. I think on first I pulled out 3, and then I tore off 6, and then I pulled off or saved 2, because when you put the 2 together, this makes the thickness, and it also makes, if I haven't glued it together, did I do that? There's a pocket in, but here, there's a pocket. See, there's a pocket in between each one. Now this is coffee dyed paper that I attached to, okay? So anyway, this is the outside. I put this on cardstock or chipboard and bumped it up. I made a pocket here on the side with a couple tags, a little something from you. This is a scrap from the paper line. This is from the paper line as well. When I finish, it's almost finished. I should finish it today. I'm also going to put this on the consignment shop. This is the first page. I really like the page, so I didn't do anything to it. This is a pocket that I made from it says Seaside, and then I used Martha Stewart, and then I did some stenciling on the back. The story begins here. I just made this little tag out of craft cardstock. You can journal on the back, and then it's got the story, and then this came out of the paper collection, and I just glued on the back some part of a book page. It's the French book, I think. No, this is part of this book. And I'm assuming, I read through this, and I'm assuming there's nothing in here that's out of line to the point, you know. If so, I do apologize, but I didn't read the whole book. This is just glued on here. This is a download that I have. I forget where I got it, but I use it for lettering. And here's I used the French stamp, and here's a teapot, and on this side is an upper. I stenciled here with the French stamp, and here's a corner upper tuck spot. Here's part of the collection with a little blue metal tag that goes up like so, and this is Tiffany & Company. This is my new stamp. I just made a card out of it, and it goes up like so. This is a corner pocket that I made, and I just did some stamping, and I did cut Martha Stewart here, and this is just part of the collection. that fits down in there like so. I love making it. This is, I glued down this, another piece of this paper. Family is everything. Now this is one piece. This is one, this and this is one piece of coffee dyed paper. I glued down one side. I left this side, I left this loose. I folded this over to make a tuck spot. And then this is just, a tag that I made and just stuck it in here with one of Tim's little deals. Now there's a, I haven't got that part finished, but there's a pocket in between all of them, and I don't know that I'm going to fill all of it, but you can, because you can see the book inside. This is a belly band with a half page folded in half for journaling, and then this is just a tag that I put on here with a little metal clip. This is part of the collection. You could journal on. This is an upper, I made this, and I put a little sari silk on it and made this. It's an upper tuck spot. Here you can journal on this. It fits in there. And then this is just, oh, I thought, no, I thought it was a little booklet, but it's not. I just, let's see, I think I, oh, how'd I have that? I may have had this like this. I can't remember. There we go. This is new. I don't know whose idea this is. I apologize. It is not mine. I've seen it on several. This is some stenciling in upper corner. This, I made this. It's just out of cardstock. I stamped it, and then I stamped it so you could journal. It's got a little metal, and it fits in here like so. And it's got a little metal piece here. This is just a tag that I made. And it's got a garment pin with a little metal embellishment there. This is, of course, stenciled and stamped with a bird. This is stamped on top. This is a pocket with an antique doily, and then another piece to match the paper. This is just a little card, and this is a little booklet type thing we open up. You can journal on. It's got the language of friendship is not words, but meanings. Henry David Thoreau, with a little embellishment there, and I stamped it, and then I did the little bird. And this fits in here as well to pick up the blue. I just love it. Here's another little pocket that I made. Here's another little card that I made, and I run it through. This is part of the collection. It's a map, and I just made a tag. This is just a page that I stamped, or no, this is one of the printed lined papers with a antique doily. When I glued all the papers together, then I'm not quite finished. Well, I haven't these yet. I took gesso, and I gessoed all the print. Now you can see through some of it, but I covered up the print, and then I glued these papers and these embellishments on top. This is a corner upper pocket. I glued this part of the paper collection. I cut this out as a map with a little boy. This you could journal on. It says sail with me. It's an upper, goes there. And then this is just a little card that come out of the collection with a little pin on it. I put a pin on it. And this goes up, oops, it goes up like so. Or did it go like this? I can't remember. Like that. This is just a page out of the collection. You see there's some gesso down in here. This is stamped with my stamp, and this is one page that I just put all the way through. This is just a corner pocket. It's not a flip. This is just a postcard that come out of the collection. This is just I made the tag out of that, put a little uh, seam binding on top. This is a pocket from the collection. The papers match, and then here's another journaling spot or tag. This is just another tag. Now I took these tags and I cut them out, and then I put them on cardstock, and then I stained around them. This is just part of the collection. Oh, here. Now this isn't finished. So this is what I did. I took the pages after I glued them together, and this is the way they looked. And then I gessoed over them. You could still read and whatever, but then I could stamp on this to it gave it some tooth as well to journal on, which I might. That one's not finished. See, this one's like that same thing, and I stamped up there. I made a pocket. Here's a bookmark that I stamped, and it says this book belongs to. And then here's another one of the little cut aparts that I put on cardstock. Here's another belly band. Now this belly band has an envelope, and I made a closure on it, which I think it's glued down. Oh, and inside is just a little card I got from Tattered Dream. You could put anything in here. And this is just a stop to keep it down. Almost glued it down. Ooh. And then it fits in here like so in the belly band. This is just a little piece of the cardstock. I stamped love, a little bitty stamp. I have this love with a butterfly. This is just a stamped page that I gessoed and didn't do anything else with. This is calligraphy paper, one whole sheet that you could journal on. Now I stamped this and it just absorbed. It's got a butterfly, and then I don't know why it did that. I've never had that happen, but you could still, and then there again, every page. So this isn't finished. These two are not finished. This is finished. This is a stamp I had. I stamped it on muslin, and then I glued it to a piece of cardstock, and then I just stamped down here with my French stamp. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. This is another little pocket envelope that I made, and it's just got a little tag. I didn't mean to go through all this. I was just going to show. It's not quite finished. Well, when it is finished, I am absolutely going to put it on. This is just a little sailor boy, and this you could journal on. And this is a stamp that I have, says families, everything. Put that on there. And here's another pocket. And this is a pocket, and then this lifts up. And it's got follow your dreams with the little bird. And then down here, I stamped it where you could clear. And here's some tags as well. This is just for pretty. This is on the calligraphy paper, which opens up, which you could journal on. And then this is just one of the cut aparts, and it's got 3 little pearls, just to make it pretty. See this? Now this I've got to do the gessoing. Now see, this is when you put them together. This is the way they are when you put them together. And this one isn't finished as well. I think that's it. And the back here, I have a pocket, but I haven't put anything in there yet. The back is just plain. I'll put my insignia there. I'm going to put some kind of a closure. I don't know what yet. I love it. This is my first one. It won't be my last because I've really enjoyed it. So when I get this finished, I'm going to put it on capturedonpaper.com as well. But right now, we're going to add the one I just showed you that is finished. My name is Gwen, and as I say, my offerings are on capturedonpaper.com. I have several journals on there. I've sold several, but I have several still on there. They're different sizes, different prices. All my pricing includes the shipping. So if you have any interest at all, this might inspire you a little bit. I do appreciate it very much. And if you have any questions, my name is Gwen, gcastile@comcast.net. If you have any questions, please email me at any time, and I'll certainly try to answer them for you. So, as I say, thanks for joining me today, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.